get back into the whole Pettersson discussion, which kicked off on Saturday. Elliot Friedman on his 32 Thoughts segment in the second intermission talked about how teams are calling the Canucks about Pettersson, wanting to know where they're at with him, and because he hasn't signed yet. For me, as I said earlier, it's literally just GMs doing their job. I think I put it in our group chat. Reporting on GMs calling about Pettersson at this point of the season when he hasn't signed a contract is like reporting on who's scouting what game.
Yeah.
Like it's
routine part of the business.
Yeah. Yes, when it comes to the scouts, it's like you should be looking for patterns on what teams are following, how many times a team's scouts are going back to a certain team to see where they're at with them. That's more what you're going to see with that. But yeah, I didn't really think much of it.
No, I didn't either.
On my own. I really didn't think much of it. And then I turned on the radio on Monday, and they're talking about how PD hasn't signed yet, and he doesn't. And I'm just like, and they're trying to sign him. Not they will sign him, but they're trying to. And there's parsing through all these words and all that. I was just like, what did I miss?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then I think what really kicked it off, honestly, and we've had Rick Dollywall on the show. It's been a few years since we have had him on. He's a friend of the show. But Donnie and Dolly had their poll question on if about if Pettersson doesn't sign with the Canucks and is traded, who's to blame? I think that was really what kicked off the shitstorm that happened on Monday.
Yeah.
Because it was just like this hypothetical question that really didn't, for me, it really didn't like mesh or match sort of what was the real discussion here.
Yeah.
And it just felt like it was just, it didn't hit. And when you have to do a poll question every day and all that, you're not going to, a lot of the poll questions are not going to be that good. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, right?
I mean, it's like a stand-up comedian, right? I mean, not every bit's going to work. Like, that's just the creative content business and the nature of that. Like, but at the same time, it's not the media's job to cheerlead the team. I think being supportive to a level is something we'd like to see, but it's not in their job description. Their job description is to objectively cover what's going on around the team, and so they tried to do that. I found the question odd as well. I'm with you. I mean, to be trying to assign blame to not just a hypothetical, but a really far-fetched hypothetical, right? Like, again, going back to what I said earlier, he's a restricted free agent, so unless he's going to do the William Nylander thing and hold out. And even in that case, Willie ended up signing with the Leafs and played part of a season. He's either got to force a trade or he has to hope for an offer sheet. And I mean, neither of those things are realistic possibilities. So even if they can't get him signed long term, he's still most likely going to be a Vancouver Canuck for at least next season. So the idea of trying to blame, like, it's just like, okay, you guys are reaching for material here. And fans reacted negatively to that, and I can understand why. But at the end of the day, the show is about generating discussion, content creation. Rick Dollywall was on defending the poll question, saying this is how the media works. It wasn't us that was dropping this news. That was Elliot Friedman. And, Elliot's a credible guy. Rick's a credible guy. Like, all of that's fine and dandy. I don't think anybody's really in the wrong with any of this.